Hi, good evening. Welcome to week third of Hamro Bahini. So just before starting this session, I'll give my Suchi Rate the day when we decided to launch an application and the day when we decided to expand the team of Hamro Bahini, and finally we are on week third and there's a lot to do ahead Bahini. So we're just on a journey of 10 to 10% cover to the 100% we're expecting from us and from you all. So be with us and we will be mindful of time, personal and professional engagement. At the same time, you'll be also getting a lot out of everything we're doing here. So welcome again on week third of our program. So as a sessions, it's overview of reproductive health system and safe aversion. So Sadeh Zasari, what we'll make sure that we will talk about our mission and vision to give you again touch base why Hamro Bahini is actually here. A reminder for us and for you all. So our mission is, Hamro Bahini's mission is to empower adolescent girls through community intervention and education on sexual and reproductive health by creating a safe and inclusive space. With a vision, together with champions, us, community, and all the experts who are dedicatedly contributing time and energy to us to achieve the vision, a world where each girl has access to quality SRHR education to create an equitable and just society for them. Moving forward, maybe Azur Suna, we're gonna talk about the vision of Hamro Bahini, but let's see if you remember Kuna Yota Chawda Madde, feel free to write on a chat box. One of the or all 6 visions that we have on Hamro Bahini. Unmute gare bhanda ni huncha. के होला? So the next slide, I just wanted to, okay. Overview of reproductive health system. Prasamsa, that's the session we're talking about. So we always want to make sure that what are the core values from Hamro Bahini. So sense of commitment, continuous learning, service to community, and mutual respect, uphold integrity, and model the empathy are the core values of Hamro Bahini. And also these values are most of the core values of our SRHR Champions. So that's why we're together on this similar platform. So agadi janu bhanda ajako agenda सँग just discuss. So हामी चाहिँ will do a little highlights on pre-session surveys. हजुरहरूले जुन survey गर्नुभएको थियो, then we'll have an overview of the reproductive health system through our session trainer, and then we'll have an open case discussion. Then त्यसपछि we will initiate conversation at the community level, how we gonna collect all these things and schoolma gaera communityma gaera कसरी सिकाउने भनेर. That will include a lot of group activities जुन चाहिँ within case study नै हुन्छ. And then at the end we'll do the reflection and feedback. So moving forward, highlights of the pre-session survey, it's quite interesting. I'm like, say, as you said that Hamro aim bhaneko cha, we wanna go back again maybe school days ma. So school days ma हामीले sexual reproductive health को anatomy पढ्दा फेरि physiology पढ्दा फेरि कसरी पढिरा हुन्थ्यो अनि त्यो चाहिँ classroom मा हामीलाई टिचरले कसरी पढाउनु हुन्थ्यो है. I remember an incident, break time मा मेरो क्लासको एउटा केटाले अगाडि गएर पुरै त्यो पिक्चर बनाएर अनि एकदमै मजाक गराइरहेको थियो कि एकदम जोक लिइरहेको थियो. And then I stood up and then तेरो यो बिग्रियो भनेर मैले मेटेर अनि यसो चिटिक्क पार्दै थिएँ कि. So त्यो स्कुल क्लासरुममा कसरी पढाइन्छ त्योबाट will again try to go back to the school days. Medical students hununcha, so kati धेरै content you already know, but त्यसलाई चाहिँ how to teach भन्ने तरिकाले we have an expert on this session, so we'll go back to that and we'll also try to understand safe abortion को context, policies कस्तो छ. So हाम्रो फेरि पनि हाम्रो pre survey मा पनि तपाईहरुले एमै गर्नुभएको छ how to teach and how to do a community intervention on teaching overview of sexual reproductive health and safe abortion. And then few of you mentioned that you're so excited to be joining this session. So we'll be hopeful that our expectation throughout the session meet huncha hola. So in general, so that very say when we asked, do you believe that it is important for adolescent girls to receive comprehensive sex education? Of course, 100% of you said yes. And then overall level of comfort discussing topic related reproductive health system, right? Banda say most of you are moderate, 51%. So we want to change that into when, you know, we are 100% confident. Your needs are 100% yes. We'll also, after this session and after this training, multiple training through Hamro Bahini, we will change this data into 100% and we'll try to get into the community intervention. Thank you, Samiksha, for the heart. And also, we just asked that from family it's good to see that most of you are already talking about it and are comfortable of, but that's again 63%. So our target kill
100%.
Yeah, our target is to get into the 100%. Right? So also, what is your current understanding of safe and legal abortion services in Nepal? I say average of you said 70, which is very decent number. So we'll get to know more about this as a session bata ma'am ko through, and then we'll have a different dedicated session to know more about the legal aspects as well. So an interesting fact, when we ask that to the extent some community currently wait a second. Receptives hard discussion SRHR manda say mostly you said that 5 level as a range 1 to 10 manda. So it shows that community well educated community better. This is indeed very much needed context one as you have said by yourself. So we'll try to change that diagram into towards 10. So effectively community intervention by that it's good to see that most of you, like 6 of you said that 8 and 4 of you said that 9. So it seems pretty good, but mostly public health medicine you've been through the community, that's why you feel like it's happening, but in general average community but say the answer could be different. So we'll also try to understand and do research on that aspect as well in future. So I am seeing screen Hamro ma'am. First of all, from the entire team of Hamro Bahini, we would like to heartily welcome Dr. Shreyashi Aryal, Obstetrics and Gynecology Department bada. So उहाँ चाहिँ काठमाडौँ मेडिकल कलेजको एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर हुनुहुन्छ, कतिजना केएमसी बाट नि हुनुहुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ. If as maybe hand raise or so the heart emoji to welcome you ma'am. And also Frontline hospitalमा consultant हुनुहुन्छ. आज चाहिँ हाम्रो केएमसी को मात्र हैन, हामी सबै हाम्रो बहिनीको लागि mentor advisor Okay, sorry for that. So Dr. Shreyashi Aryal is an associate professor of obstetrics and gynecology at Kathmandu Medical College and a consultant at Frontline Hospital. She completed her MD in obstetrics and gynecology from KMC again and Kathmandu University in 2014. Dr. Aryal has received several awards, including the SS Ratnam AOFOG Young Gynecologist Award in 2017 and the Sri Tilak Vavan Award in 2018 for the best scientific paper published by the Nepal Society of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Her interests include high-risk pregnancies, maternal mental health, and adolescent health, with a goal to integrate reproductive and mental health issues. So we are very much aligned with ma'am's background and what do we want to achieve at the end through Hamro Bahini. So moving forward, I want to give floor to ma'am. I'm screen share off course and it's over to you.
Namaste, Sapaizanalai. Nice to see young, beautiful faces, and I'm glad to be part of this project. My expectation, first thing I would like to see your survey, pre-survey. Most of you are expecting a lot about abortion services. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that, but more of legal aspects, I think, will be covered in a future issue, I know, Prakriti. Someone else will be covering more of that part. I'll be talking about more clinical aspects and what kind of services we are providing and what are the barriers to access. I'll be talking about that, but I'm the more concentrated towards anatomy today and problems in puberty. You know, so adolescents have lots of problems. So I'll be focusing on that first, and towards the end, we'll be talking about safe abortion services. So let me share my screen. सुरु गर्दा हुन्छ? Okay, so basics of reproductive system, things to know for adolescents. So how are you going to teach it? This topic is, yes, very sensitive, especially young bachcha-bachchीहरु हैन अनि पढाउन थाल्यो भन्न थाल्यो, they start laughing, giggling. It's very, very difficult. उनीहरुलाई के this is a serious issue first thing, and how important it is for them भनेर start गर्नु पर्यो के, because this is very important अनि it's associated with many physical and mental problems. So first, the basics is you understand your own body. First thing to त्यो भन्नु पर्यो. As long as you don't know where your parts are, you won't be able to have decision on your body, autonomy on your body. So that is very important. So we'll have to teach them that first. So basics first, so what is reproduction? Reproduction is the process by which a species makes more species like themselves. I know a human being reproduce girls and monkeys reproduce monkeys. So for this process, two kinds of sex cells are important. They are known as gametes. Okay? So in male, it is the sperm, and in the female, it is the egg. So it is very important that sperm and egg be present for reproduction. And when these two fuse, it becomes a zygote, and that zygote goes on to become an embryo and a fetus. So if a baby has to grow inside the uterus, then the sperm and the ovum has to be in place. So now, before we go into the internal organs, it's very important we tell our girls about the external parts of the female reproductive system. So Hamro clinic ma pani धेरैजना आजकल young महिलाहरु, it's good that young women are coming, young girls are coming to us with their problems. अनि तर धेरैजनाले के भन्नुहुन्छ भने जे प्रब्लम भए पनि मेरो भजाइनामा प्रब्लम छ भन्नुहुन्छ. So but whereas there most of their problems are external, related to the external genital organs. So vagina is an internal organ. So we need to know, we need to tell them.
Ajuko slide change bhayरहेछ नि, that's why I like interrupted.
Oh, भएको छैन?
Actually try गर्नु त फेरि. Wait, I think we're on third, fourth slide ma. Screen ma चाहिँ first मा देखिरहेछ.
First मै आइरहेछ.
Or maybe I can try.
Maybe you can do it from yours.
Okay, I'll just go on. I'll just do this.
Yeah, I know you picture त फेरि देखेन भने उसको लागि चाहिँ चाहिन्छ.
Give me a few seconds.
यसमा चाहिँ देखिन्छ होला मैले यस्तो गरे भने चाहिँ.
Okay, मैले स्क्रिन देखाएको छ अहिले त.
देखिएको छ है. तर
मलाई ट्राई.
हुन्छ.
Okay, I'm there. Okay,
okay. So you'll have to keep on changing it.
I will do that. I'll do that.
Okay, so so I was saying, you know, so most girls are like, so they don't know everything, whatever the problem is, it is in their vagina. So vagina is an internal organ, but we need to we need to make them understand about their external organs, you know. So the external organs consist of, the first one is the vulva. So the vulva is the part which is in between your legs. So the whole thing is the vulva. Whatever you're seeing in the picture, the whole part is the vulva. The vulva is important because it protects the opening of the vagina. So vulva is the whole thing, and just on the upper part we can see the mons pubis. That is the upper part of the vulva, and it is covered with pubic hair during puberty. And Prakriti, bhandai garदै जाऊ न है. Okay, that's the vulva, and then the mons pubis, and the third part is labia majora and minora. So these are also known as the lips of the vulva. So the minora and majora. Majora is the outer part, whereas the minora is the inner part. And the another one is the clitoris, which is the organ of sexual pleasure. So in young girls also nowadays, we can see, in my practice, I've seen that the girls come up with queries on masturbation as well. So, it is very important that we make them understand about sexual pleasure as well. And for that, they need to know where the clitoris is, and it is a very sensitive organ. And I would like to say it is not a mini penis. Okay, त्यस्तो पनि भन्छ जस्तो केटाहरुको penis हुन्छ भने, that's the clitoris. Yeah, the function is same, but clitoris has its own role and own importance in a female body. And another important is, we can see in the picture, is the urethra. The urethra is the opening from where the urine comes out. That's the place from where girls pee. And that is urethra. And again, bleeding भयो भनेर आउनुहुन्छ कतिजना हैन, अनि मेरो पिसाब फेर्ने ठाउँबाट bleeding भइराछ भन्नुहुन्छ, तर actually it is from the vagina. They don't know where the urethra is and where the vagina is. If we tell them, they can understand, I think, because nowadays girls are quite open. And again, in my practice, they come, मैले ऐना हेरेको थिएँ डाक्टर साहब, अनि ऐना हेरेर मैले यो देखेँ, यस्तो थियो, यहाँनिर मेरो अप्ठ्यारो छ हैन. So they're quite open, and they're inquisitive, and they want to learn. So at this time, we need to make sure that we tell them the right anatomy. So minora, majora, urethra, and another one is hymen. And a hymen is unnecessarily hyped thing. It is not associated with virginity. It is just something that the patriarchy has high demands of patriarchy. So hymen is just a covering in the vagina, and it's not necessary that it is torn only after sexual intercourse. It can get torn because of small trauma or after a fall, or just like that. Sometimes hymen is not developed in some girls, it's just partially developed. So it is just a covering the vagina, and it has nothing, it is nothing of very much importance. So why should we know the external genitalia? First thing is because of hygiene. Once you know where the vagina is, where the urethra is, where the anus is. Yeah, in that picture, I forgot to talk about the anus. It's in the lower part. And many girls think it's the anus where the sexual intercourse takes place. So that is also important. So in a normal sexual activity, it's the vagina where the penis goes into. So we need to tell them. So it sounds weird, but then in practice, I've come across people who don't know about vaginal sex. They know about anal sex only, even young girls. So we need to know the anatomy. That's why anatomy is very important. And one is, the first thing is for hygiene as well. And we need to tell them you need to clean with plain water and do not use all these fancy vaginal washes. That's not necessary. And second is in relation to sexually transmitted infection. The external genitalia is where most of the symptoms of STI present, like rashes or discharge or small swellings. For in STI and for sexual pleasure also, we need to know the anatomy. And now coming to the internal organs, mainly it consists of the vagina, the uterus and the cervix, fallopian tube, and the ovary. So uterus is inverted P-shaped organs. It's in the lower abdomen. So ekdam तलपट्टि हुन्छ हैन uterus. We need to tell them, because माथि पेट दुख्यो, छाती दुख्यो भने पनि पाठेघरमा समस्या हो कि भनेर आउनुहुन्छ. So we need to tell them पाठेघरमा समस्या हो भने पाठेघर चाहिँ तल पेटमा हुन्छ, र usually lower abdominal pain. That is more common because of reproductive health problems. So uterus is where the baby comes and sits, and the inner lining of the uterus is known as endometrium, and that is the part which sheds off during menstruation, endometrium. And the lower part of the uterus is known as cervix, which connects the uterus to the vagina. And vagina is a hollow muscular organ in the outer part below the uterus. And above the uterus, there are two tubes, which are known as fallopian tubes. And that is where the egg the ovary secretes, produces the egg, and the egg is caught by the femoral end of the fallopian tube. You can see in the picture here, like projections, femora. So that femora catches the ovum, egg, and then it takes to the uterus. And then from the vagina, the sperm enters, and the sperm and the egg meet in the fallopian tube, and later it comes in the uterine cavity. So that is how pregnancy takes place. So uterus, cervix, vagina, ovary, and the fallopian tube. So vagina has three purposes mainly. It's where the penis is inserted during sexual intercourse. Second, it's the pathway through which the baby comes out. And third, the menstrual blood comes out through the vagina. So uterus is amazing. Since I am a specialist of the uterus, I can call myself that. So it's an amazing organ. It's just 3 inches long when non-pregnant, and during pregnancy, you can see how much it enlarges and it accommodates so much during pregnancy. And then it's the strongest muscle in the body. That is how labor happens, how the baby comes out. And then it again gets back to 3 inches. It's very important. So when we tell the young girls, this is a very unique experience, I believe, reproduction. It is given to us girls only. And that is a treasure, actually. And for that, puberty is very necessary. So once when a girl say मलाई किन भइरा होला यो यस्तो puberty को problem मलाई मात्र किन भयो किन चाहियो मलाई भन्यो भने it's the end result is you want to you want to reproduce, हैन? So reproduction is, especially for a woman, is very special, I believe. So that has to be a part of the physiology. So another process is ovulation. So ovulation, the egg is released from the ovary every month. And each month, the ovulation occurs from individual ovaries. From left ovary, एउटा month मा हुन्छ भने right ovary बाट अर्को month मा egg निक्लिन्छ. So that egg comes to the uterus, and then this ovulation takes place in the mid-cycle. Usually, if you have a 30-day cycle, then it happens around 13 to 14 days. And depending on the cycle, it happens between 11 to 19 days. And it is this time that there is high chances of pregnancy. So it is very important that you use contraception at this time if you have sexual intercourse at that time during ovulation. That is from 11 to 19 days. Fertility is high during this period and chances of pregnancy is high. So the female reproductive system has basically 4 functions. One is to produce eggs. Another one is to have sexual intercourse. First is to develop the baby, develop the egg into a baby. And fourth one is to give birth. Any short note on what are gonads and what are the reproductive organs, male ma ke, female ma ke bhanyo भने gametes भनेको त अघि हामीले भन्यौं sperm and ovum. Any organs say females ma it's ovaries and males ma it's testes. Ovaries produce the eggs and testes produces the sperm. So what if the fertilization does not happen? अघि भन्यो fertilization चाहिँ यताबाट egg आउँछ तल vagina बाट sperm आउँछ and they meet and they form a zygote which later becomes a fetus, a baby. But what if the fertilization does not occur? The egg comes into the uterine cavity and it is shed off along with the endometrium, along the inner lining of the uterus. It is shed off, and that is known as menstruation. It comes off with blood. So that is menstruation. If fertilization does not occur, you menstruate regularly. If fertilization occurs, then you become pregnant. So just in this picture, you can see the testis. That is where the sperm forms, and there is a tube known as vas deferens through which the sperm goes and comes into the urethra, and it is ejaculated from there. So testis बाट बनेको त्यो लामो tube छ vas deferens अनि निक्लिन्छ urethra बाट, male urethra. Next slide, please. Okay, so you have already talked about. Next picture, my room, the next. Okay, so yeah, you can see the path of the sperm and path of the egg. So path of the sperm, say it goes through the vagina, millions of sperm. When the male ejaculates, millions of sperm go into the vagina, and that they go into the uterine cavity and go into the fallopian tube. And from the ovary, the egg also comes into the fallopian tube and they meet. Only one single sperm is enough to form, enough to fertilize the egg and enough to get pregnant. So there's millions of sperm and only one, which is the fastest, the strongest, meets the egg and then it fertilizes. So this is my reference, and you can just see that site. It is it has nice illustrations, so you can use those. So now I think I'm clear so far. Am I going too fast? Any comments so far? Okay, case how? Chat ma lekhe huncha case how bhane. Okay, so then I'll continue with puberty and its problems, and then we'll be discussing the case in short. So puberty and its problems. So what is puberty? It is a transitional period which links childhood to adulthood, and it consists of physical, biological, and psychosexual changes. Physical changes ma achanak aglo hune, breast borne, pubic hair aune, those are physical changes. Biological changes, the changes inside the body, like hormonal changes, menstruation, that is biological changes. And psychosexual, your thinking becomes like an adult. So that is psychosexual changes. The exact period, we don't know. It starts anywhere from 13 years to 16 years. And, but though the puberty timeline is not precise, the end point is always the reproductive potential of a young girl. So when the girl attains her full potential, reproductive potential, then that is the end of puberty. And WHO defines adolescence as progression of appearance of secondary sexual characters to sexual and reproductive maturity and development of adult mental processes. Yo ta shayad पहिला पनि cover भइसकेको छ होला, what is adolescence? And next. Okay, so alikiti detail ma chahi when a baby girl is born, her ovaries contains hundreds and thousands of eggs, but they are inactive. And once the girl attains a certain age, 11, 12 years, then the central part of the brain, which is known as the pituitary gland, will start secreting hormones, and then she will start menstruating and the changes will begin. Okay, next. The secretion of these hormones causes a girl to develop into a sexually mature woman, and towards the end of puberty, the girl begins to menstruate. So what are the changes, physiological changes in puberty? There is physical growth, as I've just said, sudden halakka badne bhancha ni, the halakka badeko chahi is the growth spurt. It starts anywhere in between 10 to 11 years. And next, development of secondary sexual organs, pubic hair and breast mainly. And next, development of ovaries and genital organs and menstruation. These are the physiological changes. And what are the problems the adolescents encounter? So, यसमा चाहिँ अलिकति डिटेलमा जाउँ. First problem they encounter is precocious puberty, early puberty. So, अहिले चाहिँ एकदम young girls we are seeing 9 years, sometimes 8 years my menstruation starts. Their physical development also starts. So it has to do mainly with our exposure, because everything happens from the pituitary gland, that is our brain. So the more the brain is exposed to adult contents, adult conversations, so the brain also treats the body like an adult. So the puberty may begin at an early age. So early age, 9, 10 years is an early age, okay. But if it happens less than an 8 years when the sano girl, then that can become a bit problematic. That might have other medical reasons. There are 8 to 10 years ma alikiti menarche ko age has come earlier. That is because of exposure. So another is delayed puberty. Kati jana ko sabai sathiharuko mero breast aisakyo, unaru bra launa thalisake. Mero चाहिँ I've still got a flat chest, हैन, त्यस्तो पनि problem हुन सक्छ. So त्यो चाहिँ एउटा hormonal irregularities ले हुन सक्छ. There's one common condition known as polycystic ovarian syndrome, आजकल very common. So यसले गर्दा हुन सक्छ. र अर्को चाहिँ anorexia nervosa. त्यो भनेको चाहिँ अब एकदम image conscious आजकल हैन, it's the world of showbiz भन्छु म अहिले चाहिँ, everything is external, and so the beauty ko definition it's becoming एकदम external हैन. So म राम्रो छैन, म मोटी भएँ, so त्यो सबै भनेर they stop eating. They stop eating अनि कतिजनाले खाएर पनि they throw out हैन. अनि weight कम हुन्छ, weight कम भएपछि puberty, delayed puberty हुन सक्छ. So this condition is known as anorexia nervosa. It's mainly a mental condition. So basically the weight has to be above 47 kgs usually. For it's better to be above 47 for menses to start normally. Another is menstrual irregularities. Menstrual irregularities ma कसैको चाहिँ एकदम ढिलो हुने, more common हैन. कसैको 2 महिना 3 महिना महिनावारी भएदेखि 2-3 महिनासम्म महिनावारी नहुने, फेरि एकचोटी भयो भने एकदम body bleeding हुने, and again फेरि कति महिना नहुने. So that is if a girl has long cycles, more than 35 days को cycles, that is known as oligomenorrhea. त्यो चाहिँ केले गर्दा हुन्छ त? कहिलेकाहीँ स्ट्रेसले गर्दा हुन सक्छ हैन, एक्जाम स्ट्रेस, रिलेशनशिप स्ट्रेस, यङ गर्ल्समा टु मेनी स्ट्रेस, अनि हेभी एक्सरसाइज हैन. सो एकदम वेट घटाउँछु भनेर हेभी एक्सरसाइज गर्यो भने पनि समटाइम्स दे क्यान बी प्रब्लम्स इन पिरियड्स, एन्ड इट क्यान बी ड्यू टु हाइपोथाइरोइडिजम एज वेल. एन्ड अनदर इज मेनोरेजिया, that is heavy bleeding. So mainly the reproductive system is not well developed. So as we've said, this is just a transitional period. बच्चाबाट ठुलो मान्छे हुँदैछ. So in that period ovulation पनि regularly हुँदैन. So anovulatory cycles भन्छौँ हामीले. Ovulation नभइकन पनि menstruation भयो भने चाहिँ there might be heavy bleeding. So other problems include dysmenorrhea, त्यो भनेको painful periods हैन. It is very common. अहिले चाहिँ कतिजना faintै हुन्छु भनेर पनि आउँछन्. So how will you counsel them? You'll have to tell them first thing is you're not alone. सबैलाई हुन्छ हैन, तर डिग्रीज मात्रै फरक हो. कसैलाई सानो हुन्छ, थोरै हुन्छ भने कसैलाई धेरै हुन्छ. तर त्यो भन्दैमा you will have to remain active. Try and remain active. है, सुतेर बसेर the problem won't be solved. Regular activity गर्न सकिन्छ भने गर्ने, simple analgesics हरु लिने, hot water bag, home remedies हरु गर्ने. And we have to tell them that it is not a disease. Primary dysmenorrhea भनेको चाहिँ without any disease you have pain. So that is primary dysmenorrhea. So it is normal भन्नु पर्यो. अर्को चाहिँ vaginal discharge again. So vaginal discharge भयो भनेर धेरैजना आउनुहुन्छ. So what we need to tell them is vaginal discharge is normal. अलिअलि discharge भएन भने त your vagina won't be protected हैन. This discharge also contains good bacteria, which is very important to maintain the pH of the vagina. So vaginal discharge, now one thing to be noted is it depends on the menstrual cycle. Ovulation ko time ali patolo discharge आउँछ भने during periods it becomes thick and एकदम गनाउने 4 discharge आयो भने चाहिँ it is abnormal. Another one is acne. So acne को लागि again counseling, transitional हो भनेर भन्नु पर्यो. And another problem is unwanted pregnancy. So this is a very big topic and I'll be talking about abortion services also. So unwanted pregnancy is a major problem in adolescents. And sexually transmitted infection also, gonorrhea, chlamydia. So early exposure, so early sexual exposure. So more the duration of sexual exposure, more is the chances of STI, and also unprotected intercourse leads to sexually transmitted infection. So that has to be told about. And physical and sexual violence is also common among adolescents, and this will be covered in the future sessions. And premenstrual syndrome. So this is another important topic. During periods, just a week before, you can change the slide, a week before okay, so PMS ko barema, okay, I'll tell you later. You STI ko bhanihalchu मैले. So STI ko चाहिँ only your study, your NDHS ko data ho, National Demographic and Health Survey. यसले चाहिँ के भन्छ भन्दाखेरि only 15% of adolescents aged 10 to 14 reported that they had heard about at least one STI. So नाम पनि सुनेको हुँदैन 10 to 14 years को adults बच्चाहरुले हैन, 15 years 15% ले मात्रै थाहा पाउँछ. तर whereas sexual exposure might start at this early age, 10 to 14 years. So this gap has to be addressed. Awareness on STI is very important. Next slide. So I was about to talk about PMS. PMS भनेको चाहिँ periods भन्दा 7 days अगाडि देखि नै bodily changes हुने, different symptoms like acne, bloating, tiredness, headache, sore breast, constipation, food craving, even depression, हैन. Severe PMS भएर psychological help चाहिने condition पनि हुन्छ. It is known as PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, irritability, trouble concentrating, and so this PMS could be one reason which leads a girl to miss school, miss classes. So it is one of the causes of missing school. So we have to make them aware that this is a normal process during menstruation, and this can be relieved with simple remedies like exercise and diet modification. So this is very important. So unwanted pregnancy, initiation of sexual activity has become prevalent all over the world at an early age. Early marriage is still prevalent in Nepal, and the average age, the median age for first sexual intercourse, according to NDHS, is in female it's 17 years, and in male it is 20 years. So this is the median age of first sexual intercourse. And the sex education and risk of STI, including HIV, may reduce the incidence of unwanted pregnancies. So if the girl is likely to be exposed to this risk, she should be advised a barrier contraceptive. So हाम्रोमा चाहिँ अहिले के छ भन्दाखेरि धेरै अब अलिकति rural communitiesहरुमा girls are kept very protectively, हैन? So they are not allowed to go out. You know, an unwanted pregnancy prevent गर्ने तरिका के त भन्दाखेरि don't allow them to have sexual intercourse. But अहिलेको contextमा that is not always possible. So I think it's more important to focus on contraceptive awareness, and at a young age. Okay, good, they will have sexual activity when they're ready, not necessarily at an early age, but still, since it is prevalent, we need to concentrate on contraceptive methods. So next slide, please. So yeah, okay, so this slide, contraceptive awareness, it's very low. You can see this is again NDHS 2016, and you can see in the second column on pills, right? The girls aged 10 to 15 years, only 62% knew about pills, had knowledge about pills, whereas 15 to 19 years, 84% like that. Whereas we can see in this e-pills, and that is emergency pills, the sixth column there. So त्यसमा चाहिँ 10 to 15 years को girls are 5% लाई मात्रै थाहा छ about emergency contraceptive. So this is a huge gap there here. So this needs focus, and we have to tell them. So not just about on how to prevent how to go for abortion is one aspect. Yes, we're going to tell them about availability of abortion services, but before that, contraceptive counseling is very important. So, okay, thank you. That's it for now. So we'll be talking about abortion services in the next part. Over to you, Prakriti.
दिदी हजुरको म्युट भएको छ.
Sorry. Thank you. हामीले तपाईलाई इमेलमा पठाएको थियौँ नि केस स्टोरी. एकचोटि यो स्क्रिनशट लिनु तपाईहरुले, and I will also send it on a group chat. Then तपाईहरु यो पढेर चाहिँ will divide you on 5 or 6 जनाको ग्रुपमा, and then we'll discuss. है, so स्क्रिनशट लिनु भएको छ? Hi Anamika.
Hi Prakriti, I'm here.
On WhatsApp group chat पनि यो स्क्रिनशट. One and another here. I'm a breakout room set गर्छु, and then we'll discuss on breakout rooms. 30. 7. So तपाईहरुलाई will give maybe कति minutes ठिक होला ma'am, maybe 10 minutes to discuss within yourself your case story, your questions, and then I will reflect on based on Hamro conversation कस्तो भयो, and then we'll move forward another topic. हुन्छ ma'am?
Okay, हुन्छ. 10 minutes is fine.
Right. So it's 6:46. I have created a group breakout room, so we'll get back to you at 6:56 or 6:55. Right. है ब्रेकआउट रुम जोइन गर्नु है एन्ड लेट अस नो तपाईलाई केही गाह्रो भयो भने कनेक्सन बिनु बिनु आयुष मिली हेलो तपाईहरु त्यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ
हजुर हजुर छम
तपाईहरु ब्रेकआउट रुममा जान नमिलेको हो र
यहाँ ट्राई गर्दैछु
ए है तपाईको ल्यापटपमा स्क्रिनमा कतै छ होला
हुन्छ
हाई शुभेच्छा आयुष हेलो हाई आयुष Rohit? Rohit, hello? 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 Hello?
हेलो
ए मेरो किन भिडियो नै अन भइरहेको छैन भाइ? आई डोन्ट नो के भयो। म तिमीलाई को होस्ट चाहिँ दिइरहेको छु है।
यो के हामी कतिजना हो र
होइन केस स्टडी डिस्कसन भइरहेछ, म तिमीलाई एउटा रुममा पठाइदिन्छु सुन्न जाऊ।
नपठाउ नपठाउ म रेकर्डिङ गर्न मात्रै आएको
ए बिचमा भयो के अरे
क्लाउडमा भइरहेको छैन रेकर्डिङ
क्लाउडमा भइरहेछ, क्लाउडबाट एक्सेस गर्न मिलेको थियो होइन अस्ति।
क्लाउडबाटै निकाल्छु म जस्ट जोइन मात्रै भएको घरमा प्रोग्राम छ कि
ए ल ल हुन्छ हुन्छ। मेरो खै भर्चुअल ब्याकग्राउन्ड लोडै भएन भन्ने भइरहेछ है।
म जोइन गरेर छोडिदिएँ है रेकर्डिङको लागि आएको म चाहिँ
ए ल ल हुन्छ। Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi Khushbu. Hi.
Hello, Dee.
What's up?
Hello.
Hello hello. For some reason मेरो भिडियो अन भएको छ, मेरो भिडियो देखिरहेछ। हेलो छैन है याद तपाईहरु चाहिँ मिल्छ भने भिडियो अन गर्नु। सो हामी चाहिँ विल डिस्कस अन मेन रूम। अब एक रूमबाट there were like 7 different rooms. Maybe
We were still discussing Prakriti.
yes, that was kind of like, you know, intentional sometimes because we want to discuss.
Number 3, question number 3.
Do you need some time? Oh, extra time.
Yeah, I think time is also because my room needs some time. Because we took a little more time in reading the whole.
Raise your hands, a majority. If we get a majority
Yeah,
vote,
please, if you guys want, raise your hand. We can continue in the main room.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Anamika, you're lost.
Yeah, and that is my mom raising the hand.
Oh my God.
I
Okay, thank you. So maybe let's just start from reflection room border. We'll start from room number maybe 7. Anyone would like to share? Hello?
Am I audible?
Oh, Sunesa.
Okay, so first question discuss गर्छु हैन. Yes, obviously सुमीको जस्तै हामीले पनि I have experience personally because फर्स्टमा स्कुलमा पढाउँदाखेरि पनि पढाउँथ्यो बट मतलब सिलेबसमा थियो तर त्यस्तो एकदम ओपनली डिस्कस हुन्थेन प्लस हामीलाई आफै पढ्न लाउनुहुन्थ्यो हामी पनि साय थियो त्यो टपिकै छुँदैनथ्यौँ के सो हामी पनि सुरुमा ला के भयो होला हाम्रो बडीमा भनेर त्यो चाहिँ हुन्थ्यो अनि अब चेन्जेसहरू चाहिँ अब साथीहरूसँग कुरा गर्दाखेरि हुन्छ नि ए तिमीलाई पनि भएको छ मलाई पनि भएको छ भनेर उ गरेपछि चाहिँ ए मलाई मात्र त होइन रहेछ भन्ने हुन्थ्यो त्यसले चाहिँ कन्सोल गर्थ्यो हामीलाई
So room number 7 बाट के additionally add गर्नु छ तपाईलाई? If not, we'll move to room number 1.
Yeah, so अघि उहाँले भन्नुभएकै कुरामा चाहिँ I want to add something. So हाम्रो ग्रुपमा चाहिँ डिस्कस भएको चाहिँ अर्को चाहिँ सेकेन्ड सिनारियोमा चाहिँ since it was अब 19 इयर्सको भनेपछि इभन हामीले नै आफूलाई नै हामी आफू नै 19 इयर्सको सोचेर गर्ने हो भने it is difficult for us to and I even can't imagine me being 19 and telling my parents about it हैन अनि सो अनि त्यसपछि इभन अब यो केसमा चाहिँ the consent of the female हैन whether she wants to have an abortion or not र उसको डिसिजन पनि कतै न कतै चाहिँ प्रायोरिटीमा राखिएन अनि इभन एट द एन्ड अफ द केस पनि अब they were not really interested or they really don't want to what happened to her daughter यस्तो कारणले चाहिँ उसको डेथ भयो भनेर पनि parents really don't want because सोसाइटीमा अबोर्सन भन्ने बित्तिकै यति स्टिग्माटाइज छ कि अब अबोर्सनको कुरा आएर हामीले वर्डै भन्ने बित्तिकै नि आला पाप गर्नलाई ओ माय गॉड नो 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 भनेर कि अनि यही केसमा हामीले डिस्कस गर्दाखेरि पनि a lot of time अघि हाम्रो रुमको साथीले पनि भन्नुभएको थियो हैन स्कुलहरुमा पनि कतै न कतै यङ गर्ल्सहरुलाई चाहिँ त्यस्तै हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ कि अब इभन साथीहरुसँग कुरा गर्दाखेरि पनि अब इभन दो सी इज माई फ्रेन्ड इभन दो सी इज माई टिचर सी माइट जज मी अथवा यो कुराले नै पिन पोइन्ट गरेर ठुलो कुरा बनाउँछ होला भने यस्तो यो झन् एकदमै सानो सानो कुराले नै एकदमै ठुलो मेजर कन्सर्न बनाइराको हुन्छ जस्तो भनेर नि हामीले डिस्कस गर्यौं थ्यांक यू
I think thank you for your insightful discussion. We'll move to room number 1. Hey, room number 1. बाटोको तपाईलाई आफ्नो रुम त याद छ कुन कुन थियो? मलाई पनि त्यही लाग्यो रुम नम्बर याद थिएन भने चाहिँ मेबी रेज योर ह्यान्ड अनि त्यही अनुसार जामला म चाहिँ एउटा रुमबाट रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ होस् भनेर हो सो मेबी रेज योर ह्यान्ड त्यसरी नै जाम अब रुम नम्बर याद भएन जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई सो सलिना over to you
फर्स्ट नम्बरको क्वेसनमा चाहिँ हामीले आफ्नो एक्सपिरियन्सहरू सेयर गरेका थियौँ अनि मेरो र दिदीको चाहिँ हामी चाहिँ पुबर्टी हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ आफ्नो जिउलाई चाहिँ अर्काको जिउ आफ्नो साथीहरूको जिउसँग कम्पेयर गर्थ्यौँ अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ आफू चाहिँ अलिक कम डेभलप भयो कि भन्ने हुन्थ्यो तर आफ्नो साइनेस अनि यस्तो कुराले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ साथीहरूसँग कुरा गर्न नि अलि लजाउने अनि फ्यामिलीहरूसँग कुरा गर्न नि अलि हिचकिचाउने भएर चाहिँ आफूले आफूलाई आफ्नो प्रब्लम चाहिँ आफैमा हुन्थ्यो अनि भित्रभित्र के भइरह होला मलाई भनेर सोच्दै दिक्क मान्थ्यौँ अनि अर्को भनेको चाहिँ हामीलाई पनि त्यति नै डेभलप हुन मन लाग्ने तर आफ्नो डेभलपमेन्ट चाहिँ अलि साथीहरूको भन्दा चाहिँ अलिक कम भएको भएर चाहिँ कस्तो लाग्ने त्यस्तै कुरा डेभलप भएको थियो अनि सेकेन्ड नम्बरको क्वेसनमा चाहिँ म चाहिँ के गर्थेँ भन्दाखेरि पहिला सुरु त के थियो नाम सुमी फर्स्ट म भएको भए पहिला सुरु त उसको के प्रब्लम हो के प्रब्लमले गर्दाखेरि ऊ त्यस्तो हुन्छ डिस्ट्र्याक्टेड भइरहेछ भनेर पहिला सोध्थेँ अनि त्यसपछि अब त्यो चाहिँ विटिन द नर्मल डेभलपमेन्ट नै भइरहेछ नर्मल चेन्ज विटिन नै छ भने चाहिँ यो चाहिँ पुबर्टीमा हुने नर्मल चेन्जेस हो भनेर चाहिँ एस्योरेन्स गर्थेँ अनि अर्को वाला क्वेसनमा चाहिँ पहिला सुरु त कन्ट्रासेप्सनको बारेमा अवेरनेस भएको भए चाहिँ अनवान्टेड प्रेग्नेन्सी नै आउँदथ्यो या त सेक्स भइसकेपछि पनि अब इमर्जेन्सी कन्ट्रासेप्सनको नलेज भएको भए पनि सी क्यान कन्ट्रोल इन द टाइम अब केही भयो अनवान्टेड प्रेग्नेन्सी भइसकेछ भने पनि सेफ अबर्सनको नलेज छ भने त त्यही पनि इन्टरभेन हुन सक्थ्यो त्यो प्रब्लम तर सेफ अबर्सनको नलेज पनि भएन होला या त स्टिग्माले गर्दाखेरि ओपनली अरूहरूसँग एडभाइस दिन सकिन होला त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यस्तो नराम्रो घटना घट्यो त्यसैले कन्ट्रासेप्सनको र सेफ एबोर्सनको बारेमा चाहिँ यङ गर्लहरूलाई चाहिँ स्पेसली टिनेज प्रेग्नेन्सीबाट बचाउनलाई चाहिँ धेरै इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ त्यति नै हो मेरो
Thank you, Salina. We'll take a couple more speakers, at least आफ्नो रुमबाट चाहिँ represent होस् भनेर hand raise गर्नु छ कसैले or say let's say this is room number 2, 3 भनेर Sandhya over to you.
Hello everyone. So overall हामी केस डिस्कस गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ के पायौँ भन्दाखेरि हाम्रो मैले चाहिँ नि सुमीले फेस गरेको सिचुएसन चाहिँ मैले कहिले पनि फेस गर्न परेन अनि मेरो जुन ब्रेकआउट रुममा हुनुहुन्थ्यो सबैजना धेरैजनाले चाहिँ यस्तो सिचुएसनहरू फेस गर्नु परेन भनेर भन्नुभयो किनभने हाम्रो लाइफमा चाहिँ हाम्रो प्यारेन्ट्ससँगको र रिलेसनसिप जुन छ नि त्यो चाहिँ नि अलि राम्रो अलि कम्फर्टेबल जसमा चाहिँ हामीले मजाले सेयर गर्न सक्छौँ भने अलिकति यस्तो कुराहरू चाहिँ मजाले भन्न सक्ने भएको भएर चाहिँ नि हामीले चाहिँ कहिले पनि सुमीको जस्तो सिचुएसन चाहिँ फेस गर्नु परेन अनि ओभरअल भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ यो सुमीको अनि उसको दिदीको जुन अहिलेको यो जुन सिनेरियो भएको छ त्यसको मेन जुन रिजन थियो त्यो चाहिँ नि प्यारेन्ट र चाइल्डको रिलेसनसिप उनीहरूको बिचको त्यो कम्युनिकेसन चाहिँ राम्रो नभएर हो अनि अर्को चाहिँ नि यो जुन सेफ अबोर्सन अनि त्यसपछि कन्ट्रासेप्टिभ्स अनि सेफ सेक्सुअल प्र्याक्टिसेस अनि मेन्स्ट्रुअल हाइजिनको रिलेटेड मेन्स्ट्रुएसनको रिलेटेड रिप्रोडक्टिभ सिस्टमको रिलेटेड चाहिँ राम्रोसँग नलेज चाहिँ स्कुलमा सेयर गर्न नसकेर हो भनेर चाहिँ नि लाग्यो
भने Thank you, Sandhya, for your active participation. Anamika share गर्ने हो
एउटा सानो कुरा चाहिँ के सेयर गर्न मन लाग्यो भने लाइक मेरो ब्रेकआउट रुममा चाहिँ के भयो भने वी आर टकिङ अबाउट यो एजमा चाहिँ हामीले यस्तो सर्टेन कुरा एक्सपिरियन्स गर्दाखेरि ओहो के भएको होला भन्ने हुन्छ नि त बट हाम्रोमा चाहिँ के आयो मेरो सिचुएसनमा पनि अनि अर्को एउटा बहिनीको सिचुएसनमा पनि के हुँदो रहेछ भने हाम्रो डिले भएर हामीलाई टेन्सन के लाइक माई बडी हेभ अलवेज बिन भेरी स्मल होइन अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ साथीको चाहिँ डेभलप भइसक्यो पिरियड्स भइसक्यो मेरो अझै भइरहेको छैन सो इट्स इम्पोर्टेन्ट टु इभन ह्याभ नलेज अन लाइक डिले हुन सक्छ वाला कुरा पनि के always worried about this until
I have very interesting personal story to that. Delayedले गर्दाखेरि मेरो दिदीले चाहिँ पूजा गरेर मेरो बहिनीलाई पिरियड गराइदिनु भन्नुभएको रे because I was so late. है अरु कसैलाई आफ्नो ग्रुपबाट शेयर गर्नु छ Thank you Anamika for adding to that. हामी चाहिँ 3 जना स्पिकर हुनुभयो I was just trying to be representative at least 7 रुमबाट होला भनेर कसले ह्यान्ड रेज गर्नुभएको थियो श्रद्धा र स्वीकृति दियो श्रद्धा over to you and then we'll go to स्वीकृति श्रद्धा
Okay, मैले चाहिँ लाइक हाम्रो ग्रुपको मेरो ग्रुपबाट चाहिँ एकजनाले भनिसके सरी आई फर्गट हर नेम हैन तर मैले चाहिँ अघि नै के भन्न बिर्सेछु भने यस्तो एउटा मेरो पनि भएको थियो कि I was already 15 हैन अनि I was in grade 10 अनि मेरो चाहिँ मेन्स्ट्रुअल साइकल स्टार्ट भएको थिएन कि क्लास 10 सम्म हुँदाखेरि अनि हाम्रो स्कुलमा चाहिँ यस्तै स्यानिटरी प्याड सम्बन्धी एउटा लाइक काइन्ड अफ आई डोन्ट नो अवेरनेस प्रोग्राम लिएर आउनु भएको थियो मेम्बर्सहरू कुनै अर्गनाइजेसनबाट अनि उहाँहरूले चाहिँ प्याड्सको बारेमा दिनुभएको थियो अनि तिमीहरूले अब कसरी प्याड युज गर्दाखेरि कसरी गर्छौ अलवाला चाहिँ एउटा फर्म भर्नुपर्ने थियो कि अनि त्यो फर्म भर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ मलाई चाहिँ केही पनि नै नलेज थिएन त्यस बारेमा अनि माई फर्म वाज कम्प्लिटली ब्ल्याङ्क होइन अनि त्यसपछि एभ्री वानले सोधिरहेको थियो के भयो किन नभरेको भनेर अनि आई सेड कि मलाई केही इन्फर्मेसनै थाहा छैन अनि मेरो मेन्स्ट्रुअल साइकल अझसम्म स्टार्ट भएको छैन भनेर भनेको थिएँ अनि एभ्री वान वाज लाइक सक्ड अबाउट 150 जना थियो होला अनि त्यो सबैजनामा चाहिँ आई वाज द ओन्ली वान होइन जसको चाहिँ मेन्स्ट्रुअल साइकल स्टार्ट भएको थिएन कि अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ त्यो सेसन सकिसकेपछि पनि फर्दर पछि चाहिँ अनि दिदीहरूले लाइक एभ्री वानहरूले चाहिँ मलाई सोध्नु भएको थियो किन के भएर हो एन्ड अल भनेर बट आई डोन्ट नो लाइक द्याट वाज नेचुरल आई गेस द्याट वाज नेचुरल अनि आफ्टर त्यो सेसन पछिको फ्यु मन्थ्स पछि चाहिँ माई मेन्स्ट्रुअल साइकल स्टार्टेड के सो त्यस्तो भएको थियो भनेर चाहिँ अघि मैले भन्न बिर्सेछु सो आई वान्टेड टु सेयर थ्याङ्क यू
Thank you, Shraddha. Sukriti?
यो फर्स्ट क्वेसनमा यो अरू क्वेसन्सहरूको चाहिँ मोस्टली चाहिँ चाइल्ड प्यारेन्ट रिलेसनसिपमा अलिकति एउटा हुनुपर्छ प्लस सोसाइटीमा पनि यो सेक्सुअल टपिकहरू जुनलाई अलिक ट्याबु मानिन्छ त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पनि इस्यु आइरहेको हुन्छ तर फर्स्टमा मलाई एड गर्न मन लागेको चाहिँ मलाई चाहिँ इन माई पोइन्ट अफ भ्यू होइन अब अरूको फ्यामिलीमा अथवा त्यस्तो होला नहोला तर मेरोमा चाहिँ के हुन्थ्यो भने मलाई चाहिँ मम्मीहरूको गफ सुन्न एकदमै रमाइलो लाग्ने कि अनि अब मम्मीहरू अब मम्मीको दिदीहरू अब आन्टीहरू सबै फुपूहरूसँगै बसेर कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अनि त्यस्तो बेलामा पनि कति त्यो बडीली चेन्जेसहरूको बारेमा चाहिँ थाहा पाइँदो रहेछ कि अनि मलाई चाहिँ हाम्रो बडीमा हुने चेन्जेसहरूको बारेमा चाहिँ त्यो लाइक हुन्छ नि अब ब्रेस्टहरू डेभलप हुन थाल्छ अनि पिपिकीहरू आउन थाल्छ यस्तो कुराहरू चाहिँ मम्मीहरू आफ्नो प्रब्लम्सहरू सेयर गर्दाखेरि भन्नुहुन्थ्यो कि अनि त्यसपछि ए यस्तो पनि हुँदो रहेछ अनि यस्तो पनि हुन्छ र जस्तो लाग्ने अनि आफूमा भएपछि ए हुँदो रहेछ जस्तो हुन्थ्यो क्या अनि त्यो कुरा चाहिँ मलाई लाइक आई वान्टेड टु सेयर अनि त्यही नै हो अरू त लाइक एज मोस्ट अफ द टपिक चाहिँ कभर भइसकेछ
थ्याङ्क यू अरू कसैलाई एड गर्नु छ मेबी वान मोर 7-9 भयो कसको ह्यान्ड रेज भएको थियो समीक्षा ओभर टु यु
सबै साथीहरूले भन्नुभएको जस्तै त्यस्तै नै हो त्यही अब हामीलाई स्कुलहरूमा चाहिँ टिचरहरूले त्यो टपिक छोडिदिने अनि त्यसपछि बोइजहरू लाइक टिजिङ गिग्लिङ गर्ल्सहरू लाइङ डाउन देयर ह्यान्ड त्यसरी बस्नुपर्ने सिचुएसन थियो सो द्याट हामीले चाहिँ अब उसको सुमीको कन्फ्युजनलाई चाहिँ हटाउनको लागि उसलाई मात्रै नभएर हामीले अलङ विथ द टिचर्स पेरेन्ट्सहरूलाई पनि अब यो बारे र जुन हामी ओपन अप हुन सक्दैनौँ अबर्सनको कुराहरू त्यो चाहिँ हामीले उहाँहरूलाई पनि एजुकेट गर्न सकिन्छ नट ओन्ली एडोलेसेन्ट गर्ल अल्सो टिचर देयर पेरेन्ट्स र अर्को चाहिँ अब उसलाई चाहिँ यदि कन्ट्रासेप्सनको नलेज भएको भए इमर्जेन्सी कन्ट्रासेप्सन पिल्सहरूको थाहा भएको भए र उसले चाहिँ यदि पेरेन्ट्सलाई भन्न नसके पनि उसले आफ्नो साथीहरूसँग सेयर गर्न सकेको भए चाहिँ अब उसले अबर्सन अलि लिगलाइज ठाउँमा चाहिँ गराउन सक्थ्यो कि र अर्को कुरा फेरि अब अबर्सन लिगलाइजेसनको कुराहरू कतिलाई थाहा नभएको पनि हुनसक्छ सो द्याट उनीहरू चाहिँ अलिकति त्यस्तै ठाउँमा गएर चाहिँ अबर्सनहरू गरेको पाइन्छ सो द्याट यसको बारे पनि हामीले चाहिँ अवेर गराउनुपर्छ
समीक्षा is last speaker and I think Samiksha actually connected हाम्रो म्यामको अब अपकमिङ सेसनको लागि Shreyashi ma'am हजुरलाई बेस्ट अन द केस स्टोरिज एनिथिङ यु वान्ट टु एड एन्ड मेबी अल्सो रिफ्लेक्ट ब्याक अन हाम्रो फेलोजले भन्नुभएको कुरामा देन विल मुभ फरवर्ड टु योर प्रेजेन्टेसन
नाइस एक्सपिरियन्सेस होइन हुन्छ सबैले हुन्छ मलाई चाहिँ मेरो आफ्नो पनि भनिहाल्छु मैले अघि रुममा पनि भनिनँ तर मलाई चाहिँ अलिकति आफ्नो ब्रेस्ट डेभलप हुन थालेपछि यस्तो अप्ठ्यारो लाग्ने कि आई युज टु स्लाउच कि यस्तो कुप्रेर हिँड्ने होइन जहिले पनि मम्मीले गाली गर्नुहुन्थ्यो किन कुप्रेर हिँड्छ बी स्मार्ट बी प्राउड अफ यर ब्रेस्ट भन्नुहुन्थ्यो कि अनि के भने होला त्यति बेला भनेर उल्टो आफूलाई लाज लाग्ने तर या अब रिफ्लेक्टिङ ब्याक माई मम वाज राइट नि त्यो सी वाज ट्राइङ टु मेक मी कम्फर्टेबल इन माई ओन बडी So that was one. So ani result of that parenting pani hola. I'm quite confident. I don't mind. I'm happy in my body. You know? So the confidence dilaunalai चाहिँ young girls like we have to tell them that it's okay and be proud of yourself. So त्यो भयो अनि अर्को चाहिँ यो जुन अबर्सन रिलेटेड कुराहरू भन्नुभएको छ तपाईले धेरै धेरै रिजन्सहरू दे हैव कम but I want to add a few that at the end of my presentation I have in my last slide I have some more reasons which have not been discussed access to abortion services so let's go to the presentation first and then we'll discuss more later. So safe abortion services just a minute let me read. Yeah, okay. So safe abortion services and its impact on in adolescents. Okay, next slide. So what is safe abortion services? Why we started safe abortion services? Maternal mortality, death due to pregnancy-related causes. So maternal mortality in Nepal is 280 per 100,000 births. That is quite high. All developed countries, 100,000, 5, 6, 7. This no. Hamro 280 is quite high, and out of all those deaths, now one of the leading causes is unsafe abortion. Right, next line, please. So unsafe abortion, out of all these deaths, 7.5% of females of age 15 to 19 had died due to maternal causes. 15 to 19 years girls are also dying because of pregnancy-related causes. And 16% of all abortions, whatever abortions have been performed, 16 abortions are unsafe. When 16 girls go to an unlisted, unsafe site, and that is quite a high number. And this value is high in comparison to developed countries. And unsafe abortion is leading cause of maternal death. So, Hamro case discussion ma jasto ke huncha ta unsafe abortion site ma gayo bhane main reasons is bleeding. There's excessive bleeding. As such, ekdam safe site ma garda pani abortion is a very risky process. त्यसमाथि untrained professionals ka untrained unlisted site ma gayo bhane chai euta chances of infection is high. Second, chances of bleeding, and third, perforation. Perforation bhaneko chai they use when you don't know how to use those instruments, जसले abortion गर्छ त्यो instruments-हरुले uterus नै पल पार्ने र I've seen cases where यस्तो severe perforation भएर uterus मात्रै हैन कि आन्द्रा नै पल पारेको केसहरु severe sepsis भएर so मैले गरेर problem भएर operation गरेर I couldn't save a girl त्यस्तो situationहरु पनि छ and यस्तो अहिले यो टाइममा आएर पनि when it's been 14 years since we've legalized abortion and still yesto condition dekhda chai it's very pathetic and it distressing ke we just want to do something to avoid this situation. So abortion was legalized in Nepal in 2002 and 14 years later also the knowledge of abortion is still very less. NDHS le bhandakeri only 41% of the women aged 15 to 19 years thought that abortion is legal in Nepal. Okay? 2016 ko study, only 41%. More than half of the girls don't know that abortion is legal. And what does so safe abortion services bhaन्छौँ हामीले चाहिँ यो जुन abortion services सरकारले दिइराछ. So त्यो सर्भिसमा के include हुन्छ त? One is pre and post counseling on abortion methods and as well as contraceptive methods. So abortion methods भन्दाखेरि एउटा चाहिँ medical method हुन्छ औषधि खाएर terminate गर्ने, अर्को चाहिँ surgical सफा गरेर हैन. So these methods को बारेमा counseling हुन्छ र contraceptive methods को बारेमा पनि counseling हुन्छ. And then after counseling, the termination of pregnancy as per national protocol, again medical or surgical गर्ने हो त्यो गरिन्छ. After that, we give, we diagnose if there's any STI, we diagnose and we treat that as STI as well on the same time. And finally, we provide contraceptive methods as per informed choice and follow up on post-abortion complication management. So contraception, it is very important to prevent unwanted pregnancy as well. And after abortion also, again, repregnant nose for a certain time, contraceptive is very important. So as long as the girl does not chooses her desired contraceptive method, we do not perform abortion. Contraceptive yo garchu after abortion mo yo garchu bhanera paहिले नै bhanera हामीले राम्ररी counseling गर्छौं र after that she has to choose something, one method of contraceptive, then only we'll go for abortion. So what is the benefit of safe abortion services? It is free consultation. You get free consultation and services including medicine and commodities for the safe abortion services. Free, completely free consultation to free boy. They just the minimal charge around 1,200 to 1,500 Nepali rupees. 3 lakhs of abortion. Like so, just 1,500 rupees and you can prevent a girl from dying. You know, if there is awareness. So हाम्रो law एकदमै liberal compared to other countries. अहिले अमेरिकामा यस्तो ठुलो कुरा ठुलो केसले गर्दाखेरि अहिले अबर्सनको तपाईहरुलाई थाहा होला सायद एकदमै restrictive abortion law छ अमेरिकामा and in many other countries as well. Even problem भयो रे suppose बच्चा राम्रो छैन म फाल्छु बच्चाको हेल्थ राम्रो छैन हैन growing baby 5 महिनामा हुँदाखेरि some severe heart disease थाहा भयो रे suppose त्यो बच्चा जन्मियो भने पनि राम्रो हुँदैन भन्ने थाहा पाउँदै पनि you cannot terminate the pregnancy. In many countries, it is illegal. So Nepal's law is very liberal and it is advantageous because it will prevent unsafe abortion and maternal mortality. So your services are available, sir. This CAC, Safe Abortion Services, have been expanded to all 75 district hospitals. So district hospital, district ma. So that was all district hospitals have safe abortion services, and 50% of PHC, primary health center, So primary health centers in municipalities or village or so the PHC level 50% ma. Additionally, second trimester abortions are available in 22 hospitals. Second trimester after 12 weeks. Due to various reasons, 12 हप्तासम्मै abortion गर्न आइ नपुग्न सक्छ. थाहा हुँदैन कतिजनालाई लुकाउन हैन कतिजनालाई लुकाउनु पर्ने रिजन्सहरु हुन्छ. सो त्यो कन्डिसनमा सेकेन्ड ट्राइमेस्टर अबोर्सनमा पनि अबोर्सन गराउन सकिन्छ अलि लेटर पिरियडमा. And that is available in 22 countries, 22 hospitals in the country. Then medical abortion services being expanded at health post and additional training to SPA. Skilled birth attendant mainly sisters or training there. Ekdam easy accessibility. So what is the eligibility criteria? So abortion. Women with unwanted pregnancy up to 12 weeks are eligible to seek abortion services. You don't need any reason. If a mother pregnant and I don't want this baby, 12 weeks comes and I am the mother and I don't want to keep this child. I don't want this pregnancy. I want to terminate this pregnancy. Without any questions, the service provider has to give abortion services. So it's that easy. You just go and tell them, and do you require any documents? No. No documents are required. Age proof 16 years if you have a guardian, if you go along with a guardian, you can easily get a safe abortion service. Further criteria, the site has to be listed. This site 75 district hospitals and 50% of PHCC त्यो साइटमा सर्टिफिकेट टाँसेको हुन्छ यहाँ सुरक्षित गर्भपतन गराइन्छ भनेर. सो त्यो सेफ अबोर्सन सर्भिसेसको लोगो हुन्छ. So logo भएको ठाउँ and त्यो लोगो भएको ठाउँमा trained person हुन्छ. So त्यो ठाउँमा मात्रै गएर गराउने. Abortion with women's consent up to 12 weeks भयो. So कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ up to 18 weeks of gestation in cases of rape and incest. So कहिलेकाहीँ rape incest भयो भने चाहिँ up to 18 weeks also we can the girl can seek abortion, but that has to be legally proven. And 18 weeks सम्म पनि terminate गर्न सकिन्छ. And at any period of gestation, if the pregnancy poses a danger to the woman's life, physical health or mental health, or if there is a fetal abnormality, so बच्चा compatible to life छैन, जन्मेपछि बाँच्दैन अथवा बच्चामा कुनै मानसिक प्रब्लम छ, के छ, कुनै सिन्ड्रोम छ, बच्चा राम्रो हुँदैन भनेदेखि चाहिँ कुनै पनि पिरियडमा 6 महिनामा पनि गएर टर्मिनेट गर्न मिल्छ. Termination of pregnancy because of sex selection is prohibited. This is very important, छोराछोरी छुट्याएर चाहिँ गर्न पाइँदैन. And additional consideration, only certified person and certified listed site. Next. The pregnant woman alone has the right to choose or continue or discontinue pregnancy. Just it's the right of the mother. It's liberal law. Pregnant boy, I'm not ready due to various reasons. Reasons when I don't want one. You can terminate. And in cases of minor, less than 16 years or mental incompetence, a legal guardian must give consent. So, this detail next coming sessions or and again, sex selection is prohibited in Nepal. So, medical abortion. औषधि पसलमा ल म प्रेग्नेन्ट भए राख्दिन भन्यो भने औषधिको पसलको मान्छेले without any training is just a pharmacist and that person will just give away medicine. यसरी खानु भनेर सिकाउँछ, abortion गर्छ. So that is a big no. Why? Because trained person छैन भने एक त औषधिको डोज मिल्दैन, त्यसमाथि again further जाँदाखेरि there will be complications. A lot of complications may happen. Complete हुँदैन, पछि फेरि problem आउँछ. So pharmacy मा गएर चाहिँ कहिले पनि नकिन्नु, जसले मलाई थाहा छ यही डोज हो भने पनि do not get medical abortion from a pharmacy. So this is my last slide. So problems to access of safe abortion services. अघि धेरै कुरा भइसकेको छ त्यसमध्ये चाहिँ अब हाम्रो के थियो उसको नाम सेकेन्ड केसको कमला हो फर्स्ट त सुमी हो सेकेन्डको नाम बिर्से सो उसलाई चाहिँ ऊ एउटा अवेरनेस हैन त हामीले उसको केसमा पनि वी कुड सी ल्याक अफ अवेरनेस उसलाई थाहा नै छैन कि अबर्सन यति इजिली अवेलेबल छ हाम्रो कन्ट्रीमा कहाँ जानुपर्छ के गर्नुपर्छ उसलाई थाहा छैन नम्बर 1 ल्याक अफ अवेरनेस नम्बर 2 डिस्टेन्स टु हेल्थ फेसिलिटी सो हामीले प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेन्टरमा त भन्यौं तर हाम्रो देशको जियोग्राफी नै यस्तो छ कि त्यो प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेन्टरमा पुग्न पनि कति घण्टा हिँडेर जानुपर्छ हैन सो कोसँग जाने त्यत्रो घण्टा कसरी जाने घरमा के भनेर जाने सो एक्सेस डिस्टेन्स टु हेल्थ फेसिलिटी इज अ मेजर प्रब्लम अर्को चाहिँ ल्याक अफ फिमेल स्टाफ सो कतिजना पुग्छन् बल्ल बल्ल त्यो हेल्थ फेसिलिटीमा तर त्यहाँ केटा मान्छे बस्दिरा हुन्छ सो अप्ठ्यारो लाग्छ हैन मैले अनि उसले प्रब्लम नभनिकन फर्किन्छ सो द्याट इज अनदर रिजन देन सपोर्टिभ फेसिलिटी त्यो फेसिलिटीमा गइसकेपछि पनि कतिजनाले हेर बच्चा भएर प्रेग्नेन्ट भएर आएको एन्ड जजमेन्टल एटिट्युड एन्ड टेबुज सो मेनी थिङ्स हैन उसलाई जज गर्ने सो सपोर्टिभ फेसिलिटी छैन जाने बित्तिकै उसलाई नाना थरी गाली गर्छ भनेदेखि त्यो ठाउँ इज नट एप्रोप्रिएट हैन सो सेफ अबर्सन सर्भिसेस हुने ठाउँमा चाहिँ एक्चुअली वी गेट अ ट्रेनिङ हाउ टु स्पिक विथ द क्लायन्ट एन्ड एभ्रिथिङ तर द्याट्स नट एभ्रीवान चाहिँ will not apply that training in practice हैन आउने बित्तिकै जजमेन्टल हुन्छ सो अगेन फियर अफ जजमेन्ट यसै त उसलाई आफैलाई पनि जजमेन्टल भएर गाह्रो भइरहेको हुन्छ झन् अरूहरूले पनि त्यसरी जज गरिदिएपछि इट विल बी मोर डिफिकल्ट अर्को चाहिँ पर्मिसन फ्रम पार्टनर्स एल्डर्स हैन लले त भन्छ चाहिँदैन पार्टनरको कन्सेन्ट चाहिँदैन हस्बेन्डको कन्सेन्ट चाहिँदैन तर हाम्रो सोशल स्ट्रक्चर यस्तो छ कि घरबाट बाहिर निक्लिनलाई सोध्नु पर्यो नि त म यहाँ जान लाको अनि के गर्न जान लाको हैन कति बेरमा आउँछौ दाइलाई लानु पर्यो साथी त्यस्तो छ सो हाम्रो सोसाइटीमा एक्लै एउटा केटी मान्छे गएर अबर्सन गराउन इज नट द्याट इजी अर्को चाहिँ लो डिसिजन मेकिङ हैन अब गर्ल्सले नि हो म गएर एक्लै अबर्सन गराउनु त इज अ भेरी बिग थिङ सबैले सक्दैन नि सो डिसिजन मेकिङ पावर सबैमा त्यस्तो हुँदैन सो द्याट इज वान थिङ एन्ड अर्को शाइनेस यो त सबै तपाईहरुले पनि भन्नुभएको छ लाज लाग्यो अगाडि नभन्ने So because of all these safe abortion services, it's accessible हुँदै पनि, yet it is not utilized properly, especially by young girls. Thank you. That is all I have to say.
I'm trying to open.
Thank you, ma'am.
Give me a second. So anything tapalai ma'am lai sodhna man lageko cha bhane feel free to ask questions ma'am lai or write on a chat box. Kehi cha kasalai? Hello.
Anyone के छ भने भन्नुहुन्छ के सोध्नु मन छ भने हुन त धेरै जना मेडिकल पर्सनहरुलाई त थाहा पनि थियो होला हैन मेडिकल स्टुडेन्टहरुलाई तर अरु सबै जना हुनुहुन्छ यहाँ के सोध्नु छ भने प्लिज हाउ वाज इट बाइ द वे वाज इट युजफुल थाहा भइसकेको कुरा थियो कि
मलाई चाहिँ एड गर्न मलाई इट साउन्ड्स लाइक कति कुरा थाहा भइसकेको हुन्छ तर द प्रब्लम इज इन कसरी पढाउने थाहा हुँदैन नि त हामीलाई सो इट्स गेटिङ ब्याक अनि स्मल सबै डिटेल्सदेखि लिएर so we introduce understanding बेसबाट anatomy to सेफ एबर्सनको कन्डिसन everything and relating it with the case stories and we're hopeful that ma'am को एकदमै यो precious time just हामीलाई दिनुभयो अनि it's evening को टाइममा फ्राइडेमा and it's not just 2 hours of session it required pre-planning and structure content understanding the audience and everything so त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हाम्रो साइडबाट हाम्रो बहिनीको साइड and also the entire champions बाट चाहिँ we want to present a small token of love to Dr. Shreyashi Aryal, and we sincerely appreciate your dedication and expertise as a session trainer on overview of the reproductive system and safe abortion. Your guidance and insights have been invaluable to our sexual and reproductive health and rights champions. To everyone, अहिले 32 हुनुहुन्छ, but this video is recorded. सबैजनाले हेर्नुहुन्छ. So we are grateful for the knowledge and the skills you have imparted to us. And just letting you all know, everyone, हामीसँग म्याम अहिले 2 घण्टालाई मात्रै हुनुहुन्न. She will be constantly guiding and mentoring us throughout the journey. तपाईहरु कम्युनिटी स्कुलमा गएर सिकाइराख्दाखेरि, once you are done working on your presentation and planning, maybe if you want to do a proofread अगाडि हामीसँग अलिकति अगाडि नै टाइम मागेर, let's do that as well. And at the same time, we were trying to introduce the concept of case stories. That's why हामीले त्यो introduce गरिरहेछौं. So one of the main reason we wanted to introduce case story चाहिँ यहाँ पनि कति जनाको stories आयो, but नेपालको several communities मा गएर we want to bring more and more real stories. त्यो stories लाई चाहिँ including Shreyashi ma'am and all the experts को proofread गरिसकेपछि we are trying to publish that as a book. हुन्छ नि मीना कार्टुनको किताब जस्तै नै, जहाँ चाहिँ will talk एकदमै simple version मा all these things which is sensitive at very much needed topic मा हो. So thank you very much ma'am, हजुरको एकदमै important कामको लागि. So it's 7:28. We have a couple of minutes. Swikriti र खुशबुले hand raise गर्नुभएको छ. So maybe Swikriti, over to you.
Ma'am, I'm Sukriti. जुन हाम्रो यो मेन्स्ट्रुएसन स्टार्ट हुने एजमा भर्खर स्टार्ट हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ लङ पिरियड अफ टाइमको लागि नै पिरियड बिचमा स्टप भइदिन्छ नि, त्यसको बारेमा चाहिँ हामीले कसरी चाहिँ उनीहरूलाई काउन्सिल गर्ने, किनभने अब उनीहरूलाई त थाहा हुँदैन नि त, अब यो अब कसैले महिनावारी भन्ने महिना भन्ने बित्तिकै महिनामा हुन्छ भन्ने कन्सेप्ट हुन्छ नि त. अनि त्यस्तोमा चाहिँ हामीले यो एडोलेसेन्ट स्टेजको फिमेल्सहरूलाई चाहिँ कसरी चाहिँ यो पिरियड चाहिँ अब रेगुलर नहुन पनि सक्छ, बिचमा इट्स नर्मल भनेर कसरी चाहिँ काउन्सिल गर्ने, त्यसको बारेमा पनि अलिकति एक्सप्लेन गरिदिनुहुन्छ कि भनेर.
थ्याङ्क यू सुकृति. अघि भने जस्तो ट्रान्जिसनल पिरियड हैन, यु आर गोइङ थ्रु चाइल्डहुड टु एडल्टहुड. अनि त्यो बेलामा अघि भने जस्तो ओभुलेसन, यो रिप्रोडक्टिभ सिस्टम इज स्टिल यङ, fully mature नभएको भएर चाहिँ रेगुलर नहुन सक्छ. आफ्टर सर्टेन एज, आफ्टर 18-19, when your system is fully mature अनि बिस्तारै नर्मलमा आउँछ. सो दिस इज नर्मल. मेनली एउटा चाहिँ एनओभुलेसनले गर्दा, ओभुलेसन नै तिम्रो राम्ररी भइरहेको छैन, मच्योर भएको भन्नु पर्यो. अर्को चाहिँ अब त्यही हो, ट्रान्जिसनल पिरियड हो, सबैलाई हुन्छ, हामी भन्ने नै त्यही नै हो मेन कुरा.
खुशबु.
हेलो, नमस्ते म्याम. मेरो नाम चाहिँ खुशबु राई र म चाहिँ पब्लिक हेल्थ स्टुडेन्ट. र मैले चाहिँ एबर्सन रिलेटेड कुरामा चाहिँ अलिक क्युरियस पनि छु, किन भन्दाखेरि एबर्सन लदेखि लिएर सबै कुरा चाहिँ मैले ब्याचलर जोइन गरेपछि मात्र थाहा भयो होइन. जब थाहा भयो तब चाहिँ अलिक हुन्छ नि, धेरै कुराहरू चाहिँ भइसकेको रहेछ अनि अझै हामीलाई ज्ञान थिएन भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ मलाई अलिक क्लियर भयो. तर त्यस्तो अवस्था हुँदाहुँदै पनि जस्तै यो एबर्सन रिलेटेड कुरा चाहिँ अमेरिका जस्तो डेभलप कन्ट्रीहरूमा चाहिँ अझै स्ट्रिक्ट बन्दै गएको ल होइन. अनि एकदमै कडा हुँदै गर्दाखेरि अब वुमेनहरूलाई त कति असर परिरहेछ नि त. अनि त्यस्तै खण्डमा अब हाम्रो कन्ट्री भनेको चाहिँ डेभलपिङ प्रोग्रेस भइरहेकै अवस्थामा चाहिँ हामी चाहिँ अब प्रायः चाहिँ डेभलप कन्ट्रीलाई नै फलो गरिरहेको हुन्छौँ नि त. अब त्यो कुराहरू चाहिँ सबै उहाँहरूबाट इन्फ्लुएन्स भएर चाहिँ हामी चाहिँ क्यारी आउट गरिरहेको हुन्छौँ प्रायः सबै कुरा. अनि अब उता चाहिँ एबर्सनमा चाहिँ अलिक स्ट्रिक्ट बन्दै जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ अब हाम्रो कन्ट्रीमा चाहिँ होइन त्यसले चाहिँ कतिको एफेक्ट गर्छ र कस्तो सिचुएसन आउन सक्छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ बेला बेला त्यो कुरामा चाहिँ क्युरियस रहिरहन्छु. अनि हजुरलाई चाहिँ कस्तो लाग्छ अलिकति सेयर गरिदिनुहोस् न है. हस्, थ्याङ्क यू.
सो अब हरेक कुराको दुईटा पाटा हुन्छ भने जस्तो अबर्सन ल लिबरल बनाउनुमा पनि त्यसको रिपरकसन्सहरू पनि छ होइन, नराम्रो पनि हुन सक्छ. जस्तै मैले देखेको चाहिँ एउटा कन्ट्रासेप्टिभ युज घटेको छ कि, जस्तै अबर्सनलाई यति लाइटली लिन्छन् कि अब यङ एडोलेसेन्ट्सहरूमा त होइन होला, तर अलिकति मच्योर लेडिजहरूमा हु हेभ अलरेडी ह्याड 2 चिल्ड्रेन कन्ट्रासेप्टिभ युज नगर्ने अनि दे कम रिपिटेडली फर अबर्सन कि 3 महिना अबर्सन गर्यो, फ्याल्यो अनि कति सजिलोसँग भयो. फेरि अगेन आफ्टर 3 months एन्ड अगेन आफ्टर होइन त्यो 8-9 चोटि गरेको महिलाहरू पनि हुनुहुन्छ. सो एउटा चाहिँ त्यो एस्पेक्ट देखेको छु मैले, विच इज भेरी रङ होइन. रादर देन कन्सन्ट्रेटिङ अन प्रिभेन्सन ट्रिटमेन्टतिर गयो होइन, कन्ट्रासेप्टिभ प्रिभेलेन्स चाहिँ घटेको छ जस्तो लाग्छ. अनि अब तपाईँले भने जस्तो अरू कन्ट्रीमा चाहिँ हो स्ट्रिक्ट छ। अब अमेरिकामा स्ट्रिक्ट गर्नुको एउटा रिजन चाहिँ कम्प्लिकेसन पनि छ नि त। अबर्सन इज नट एन इजी प्रोसेस। अब त्यत्रो पपुलेसन भएको ठाउँमा अब यति सजिलोले कन्ट्रोल गर्नु पनि गाह्रो हुन्छ। सो अबर्सन राइट्सको कुरा आउँछ होइन। तर हाम्रोमा चाहिँ यो राखेको मेन रिजन इज टु प्रिभेन्ट म्याटर्नल मोर्टालिटी। हाम्रोमा देखियो अनसेफ अबर्सन धेरै भइरहेछ नि त। जसरी पनि अबर्सन त गराउनु गइरहेछ, जसले गर्दा महिलाहरू मरिरहेछन्। सो मेनली चाहिँ त्यो पोइन्टलाई समाएर चाहिँ नेपालमा चाहिँ अलिकति लिबरल गरे हो, सो द्याट म्याटर्नल मोर्टालिटी एकदम हाई छ। अघि भने नि 280 इज भेरी हाई। सो त्यो कम गराउन सकिन्छ कि भनेर पनि अनसेफ अबर्सन प्रिभेन्ट गर्नलाई अबर्सन ल अलिकति लिबरल गरेको हो। सो दिस इज अ बिग थिङ टु डिस्कस होइन। एउटा एस्पेक्ट मात्रै हेरेर हुँदैन। तर हाम्रो कन्टेक्स्टमा मेनली अहिले पोजिटिभ हेर्ने भनेको इट हेज रिड्युस्ड म्याटर्नल मोर्टालिटी। सो द्याट्स द मेन रिजन।
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. मलाई चाहिँ just adding to one thing, हामीले डेभलप कन्ट्री अमेरिकामा इलिगल छ भन्दा चाहिँ उहाँ चाहिँ फेरि स्टेटको प्रोसेस हुन्छ कि 50वटा डिफ्रेन्ट स्टेट छ। मोस्ट अफ द स्टेट्समा लिगलाइज छ, सम अफ द स्टेट्समा इलिगल छ। सो फेरि हामीले इन्फर्मेसन सर्कुलेट गरिराख्दा चाहिँ वी निड टु बी माइन्डफुल। अघि खुसबुले अमेरिकामा भनेर भन्नुभयो नि, सो त्यहाँ पनि फेरि रिजनल वाइज अनि म्यामले भने जस्तो कल्चरल, सोसल, रिलिजियस, पोलिटिकल डाइमेन्सनले अफेक्ट परिरहेको हुन्छ कि। सो जहाँ चाहिँ हामी अब विल जस्ट गेट अवे फ्रम द्याट। अनि हाम्रो लागि बेस्ट भनेको इट्स हेल्पिङ अस बेटर रिजल्ट ल्याउनलाई हो नि त लिगलाइजिङ एबर्सन भने। त जस्ट आई जस्ट वान्टेड टु एड अ लिटल द्याट पार्ट अफ इट।